Hi guys! So welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, and yeah, I always say this, it's literally been a while. But if you follow me on Instagram, I will I will put my Instagram right here. You will know that I finally had my baby. Yay! I know a couple months ago I was posting like my first trimester, a couple baby registry stuff, and now I have finally had my baby boy. His name is Jaciel. Yeah, a couple people see his name and they don't know how to pronounce it, so his name is Jaciel. Today we're going to share my birth story, my unexpected birth story, which was honestly nuts and nothing like I wanted it to go, which kind of sucks, but you know, there is a reason for everything and God has a plan for everything. So yeah, I'm super excited. I am 11 days just kidding. I'm 12 days postpartum today. I feel great. Today was a really good day. I'm so proud of myself. Postpartum is honestly really hard. Your body changes so much, but today was a great day. So pat on the back, pat on the back. All right, so let's hop into this unexpected birth story. All right, so if you see me looking down, I have a couple notes just so I don't forget anything because, you know, mom brain, postpartum brain. All right, sorry for the interruption. My boyfriend came in. So yeah, if you hear any music or any like beat, bass in the background, I'm actually at my mom's house right now. We came to visit with the baby, and yeah, they've been throwing down with some music. To start off, the most unexpected thing happened to me, which this will be another video talking about COVID. But so to start off, I was COVID positive when I went into labor. Very unexpected, very tragic, very hard for me, and very hard for like my mental state and everything. Knowing that I was about to have a baby and everything, but that is going to be a whole nother video because this is going to be my birth story, so stay tuned for that video. It's going to be a COVID pregnancy video, which sucks. I was positive my last 2 weeks of being pregnant, and I had Jaciel at 39 weeks pregnant. So that was the first unexpected thing. Honestly, I never thought I would be COVID positive, but you can literally get it anywhere, and it literally sucked. So that was the first unexpected thing that happened to me. So when I went into the hospital for labor on Sunday, yeah, my water broke on Sunday, August. Let me see. I just want to double check because I don't want to get no dates wrong with you guys, and then y'all be like, that don't even add up, girl. So my water broke on Sunday the 16th, and I was still COVID positive. However, I had been fever free for about 48 hours, I think. It had been 2 days since I hadn't had a fever. Since I was COVID positive, they put us in a kind of secluded room where we wouldn't be moved out. Of. So that is where they did all my checkups, and that is where I was going to give birth to the baby. So yeah, like I said, my water broke Sunday around 8:15 p.m. right before I was about to make a sandwich. Like, your girl wants a sandwich, and then my water breaks, which was tragic because after my water broke, I didn't eat anything until I finally had my little baby in my arms. So I was hungry. I didn't have no solids because at the hospital they don't let you eat solids when you're in labor. You can only have fluids and cold stuff. It was so tragic because I really wanted that sandwich. But yeah, so we arrived to the hospital around 9:30 p.m. at night on Sunday. Like I said, there was no more eating for me. Only fluids and cold stuff. So for instance, the options for me was ice chips, popsicles, chicken/beef broth, jello, apple juice, and water. Those were the only things I can eat, and the hospital had to give it to me. So it couldn't be like, oh, my boyfriend's gonna give me the Jello. Oh, my boyfriend's gonna give me the beef broth. No, it was the hospital had to give it to me. And the chicken and beef broth, it was literally just the hot water with the flavoring. So no noodles, no veggies, no nothing. It was literally just the broth. But I mean, it wasn't that bad, but still, like, your girl was hungry for some solids. Like, ooh. I got to the hospital and they, obviously my water had broken. My shorts were literally drenched as I was walking, like, water just kept coming out. It was crazy. I was like, wow, this is so crazy. Like, you know, some girls are different, some moms are different. Some, their water breaks, some their water does not break. Some start contractions before their water breaks. Some go to the hospital and have to have their water bag popped. I was one of those that their water broke, which is something I really wanted. I really wanted my water to break, so I knew that I was actually in labor, and it's crazy that it actually did happen that way. So that was that. I got checked to see if I was dilated around 11 p.m. and I was only 1 centimeter dilated, which was unfortunate. Because I was having contractions. However, my contractions weren't that strong yet, so I wasn't in a lot of pain to where I was like, oh my gosh, you know. So yeah, they were okay. They were manageable at that time. But yeah, unfortunately, I was still only 1 centimeter dilated. So they started me on Pitocin at 12 a.m. midnight, being Monday already. So yeah, the contractions didn't start increasing until 12:45/1 a.m. in the morning. And when I tell you that they started, like, it was crazy. Because, like, at first I was like, this is uncomfortable, like, you know, grabbing myself, like, and then they were getting stronger, like, and it was crazy because I wasn't dilated to where I was supposed to be, but my contractions were literally every 3 to 4 minutes at first, and then they got to every 2 to 3 minutes, and it was just like such a pain, like, and I felt it mostly in my right hip and in my back. So when they would come, it was like, my gosh, like, oh my gosh, and then it would stop, and then I was just like, okay, I could catch my breath, and then I was chilling, and then another one, oh my gosh, like, I wanted the pain to stop because, like, mind you, it was already late and I wanted to rest because, I mean, my water broke at night. Mind you, I had been up all day. Like, I wanted to rest, but these contractions, they just kept coming every 2 to 3 minutes, and they were pretty strong. So at this point, like I said, it was around 2 a.m. now, and I tried to, you know, like, suck it up, but like, it was hurting, like, I was crying. And then it came to a point where you know, I tried walking around the room to see if that would help. Like, I tried bending over the bed to see if those would help my contractions, but they were just really freaking strong. Like, I tried to thug it out, you know, as much as I could, because I was like, girl, you got this, like, you could do this. But whoo, them contractions are no joke. I would tell you that right now. Like, yeah, they're no joke. So yeah, I had asked the nurse, like, hey, like, can you check me again? Can you let me know, like, how many centimeters dilated? Because my goal was originally to get an epidural around 5 centimeters dilated. Because, you know, I don't know, that was just my expectation, to get my epidural when I was like 5 centimeters dilated. So I asked her to check me again at 4 a.m. So she checked me, a cervical check, and I was still freaking 1 centimeter dilated. What? So I had been on Pitocin for 4 hours already, and I had been dealing with these contractions for 4 hours. No, my contractions started at 12:45, so for like 3 hours already. And oh my gosh, I can't believe I even dealt with them for that long, because like, oh, so I was literally like, oh my gosh, like this is horrible. And so I asked her, like, is it bad that I'm having contractions every 2 to 3 minutes and I'm still not dilated? Like, will it matter? She says it really doesn't have a correlation. Some people just have contractions and they're still not dilating. It doesn't really mean anything. Like, I can be dilated and not having contractions, but my contractions were pretty frequent, every 2 to 3 minutes. The problem was I just wasn't dilating. So at that point, I was just like, you know what? I'm having contractions every 2 to 3 minutes. They're freaking strong. Like, I think around maybe 3 a.m., I even threw up my Jell-O and the water and the popsicle I had eaten because your girl was in pain. Like, I vomited all that and I was just in so much pain. Like, it was horrible. Like, it's crazy because like that is a different kind of pain, and it was crazy because I only felt it like on my right side and in my back. Like, those were I felt my contractions the most. But anyways, like I was saying, yeah, I opted for an epidural after she told me that I was still 1 centimeter dilated at 4 a.m. So she said that they would set me up, put something in my IV to get me ready for the epidural. So I finally got the epidural at 5:30 a.m. The anesthesiologist came in at 5:30 and he put my epidural in, and I think about 15 minutes later or 30 minutes later, I finally felt relief. It was like 5:45 a.m., 6 a.m. on Monday that I finally felt relief from having contractions from 12:45 that morning. Whew. Wow, what relief that was. It was literally relief, like hallelujah. Like, she literally looked at the screen and she was like, oh, you're having a contraction right now. And it was like the little like lines going up, like it's like a little mountain on the screen. And she was like, did you feel that? And I was like, no, like I didn't feel it. She said you might feel pressure, but like I really didn't feel anything. Like, it was great because at that point I was like, oh, thank God. Like, I can finally rest. I can take a little nap. Like, I was exhausted. I was exhausted from having contractions. I was exhausted from freaking throwing up. I was exhausted from feeling pain. I had been up almost a whole day now. Like, yeah, I could finally get some rest. Yeah, so she was coming in. I think around that time, she also checked me too. And I was just progressing slowly. I wasn't dilating as fast as I should have been, I guess. It was just a super slow progression. The day went by a little bit more. So she kept checking me and it was just such a slow progression, which really sucked, honestly, because I was just like, oh. But I mean, like I said, I was on an epidural, so I didn't really feel much. It was just the like anticipation of, oh, he's gonna be here. Oh, he can be here soon. He can be here in a couple hours. He can be here tonight. He can be here in 5 minutes if I dilate. You know, it was just the anticipation that was killing me because I really wanted to meet my baby now. I'm in labor, like I want to see him. So it was just anticipation. So around 12 p.m. on Monday, she checked me and I was only at 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters from being at 1 centimeter. What was it? 1 centimeter at 4 a.m. It was frustration, honestly, for me because I was just like, why is it going so slow? Around 12:45, I actually progressed to 4.5/5 centimeters. She said I was like right there, so 4.5-5 centimeters. However, it wasn't as many centimeters as they would want me to be dilated at that time, so they started switching me and doing different labor positions. I'm gonna enter the picture here and show you the different labor positions I was doing. Different labor positions. I actually did a couple of them. She had me sit like because you know the hospital beds can move in different manners, so I was like at one point sitting straight up, like if I was on a throne, like literally straight up like this. The hospital bed was like this. They had my legs like open like that. They had me sit like doggy style like that. I was sitting like that for a while. It was just different positions to try to get Jaciel to move a little bit more down. And also to try to get me to dilate, which was the labor positions didn't bother me. It was just like, oh, come on, baby, like, come on, please, like, keep moving down, like, help mama dilate, like, come on, I'm ready to see you, I'm ready to meet you. You know, 3:30 p.m. I was still at 5 centimeters. So like I said, from 12:45 to 3:30 p.m. I was still at 5 centimeters. So I hadn't progressed in almost 3 hours. And since it had almost been 24 hours since my water had broken, mind you, my water broke, I told you guys, around 8:15 on Sunday, that previous day, and it was already 3:30 p.m. and I was only at 5 centimeters. And apparently they said that, well, not apparently, research, whatever, doctors, whatever, they say that once your water breaks, you know, the amniotic fluid, it can start running low, and your baby lives in amniotic fluid, so it can be dangerous for them and possess a danger to them if they're still floating around and there's not as much amniotic fluid you know, around them and stuff. It posed the predicament of, if you don't progress in the next hour from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m., then we will have to opt for a C-section. I don't even want to get emotional, because honestly, the thought of having a C-section really made me upset. I started crying, you know, and I told my boyfriend, like, I really don't want a C-section. Like, I don't want a C-section. In my mind, I had never thought of having a C-section. I thought, you know, I was gonna have a natural birth. I was even saying, like, you know, I'm not gonna have a C-section, I'm gonna have a natural birth. Like, I'm really set on having a natural birth. I was really set on having a natural birth. I was set on bouncing, you know, because they say if you have a natural birth, the recovery is so much easier. So I was set on, okay, like, I'm gonna recover, it's gonna be awesome, I'm gonna go back to the gym, I'm gonna do me. Like, it was more so like the C-section was a major surgery, and then the recovery was gonna be so hard. And you know, I just wasn't comfortable with the C-section. It literally scared me to death. Like, sorry, I don't want to get emotional. But yeah, it literally scared me to death, and I was literally so upset when she told me that. So she had me do like another labor position for that last hour to try to get him to move down and see if I could dilate more. But however, like, she came in at 4:30 and they checked me, and I was still at freaking 5 centimeters. Like, so yeah, at 4:30 p.m. on Monday, the decision was made for me to have a C-section. Obviously, it was best for the baby, you know? It was the best thing for my baby. It was the healthiest way to get him out. If he would have been in there longer, you know, it could have posed more of a threat for him. It could have been bad for me, and it could have been bad for him. So I had to just come to terms and accept, like, okay, I'm gonna have this C-section, you know? Woo! Yeah, so I'm gonna have this C-section, and I'm gonna go through with it. My boyfriend was so supportive. You know, he understood how upset I was, and he was just trying to get me to calm down and have me understand, like, this is a plan, like, this is God's plan, like, you got this, you're gonna be okay, like, it's best for the baby. So yeah, that was that. I mean, no choice at that point, because I want to do what's best for my baby. So yeah, I had a C-section, and that was very hard for me. I don't want to say it was kind of traumatizing. My C-section, you know, they say that you're not supposed to feel anything, which I didn't. My anesthesiologist and my doctors were amazing. However, they say you do feel a lot of pressure down there when they're inside of you and stuff, and like, I felt a lot of pressure as I was on the table. I just remember, like, I remember being on the table, and I don't remember her cutting me. I didn't feel no cuts, I didn't feel no sharp anything. I just felt so much pressure down there, as, like, I guess she was working in me and she was trying to get the baby out. I just remember being on the table, and I was looking at my boyfriend. He was holding my hand, like, trying to get me to calm down, and I was just like, because like, I could feel the pressure. Like, I was kind of yelling, but like, I could feel the pressure, you know. And then it's crazy, because some people say, like, oh, I didn't feel anything during my C-section. C-sections are the easy way out. C-sections are this. Like, for me, I felt so much pressure, and I felt like that was kind of traumatizing to me. that I could feel so much pressure down there, because even my anesthesiologist, like, because I was just on the table like like at a point, because I could feel them, not feel them, but I could feel the pressure like down there in my stomach, like as they were doing stuff. And even my anesthesiologist told my OB that was working on me, just give her 5 minutes, you know, just stop the procedure and give her 5 minutes to just, you know, I needed like a mental like break. Like it was just hard. Like my C-section, like it was hard. Like I didn't feel no sharp, like I said, I didn't feel no sharp anything. It was just so much pressure that I felt that it hurt. And he was putting like more medicine in me, you know, to try to help me, and the medicine was giving me chills as I was on the table. And then at one point, like when I was on the table and they were still working on me, I felt like I was gonna throw up, I guess because of all the medicine that they were pushing, since I was on the table. And so they had to give me a bag, and I felt like I was gonna vomit as I was getting a C-section. And it was just the feeling like I was gonna vomit, the pressure that I was feeling, the chills that I was having. I feel like all that was kind of traumatizing to me, and it was hard. It was a really hard experience. My C-section was a hard experience for me, and on top of it being, you know, something that I didn't want to happen because I wanted a natural birth, it was just hard to intake all of that. So after my C-section, it went great. Everything went great. I was fine. I had chills for probably an hour, like shaking my body's like probably an hour after my C-section, just because of all the anesthesia they were pushing and stuff. My anesthesiologist said that my chills were just a side effect to the medicine and stuff. So yeah, I had chills, which was ridiculous. I hate having chills, but yeah, I was literally like every freaking 2 minutes having chills. My body was just shaking, which was crazy. And yeah, they pushed me back to the room. I saw my baby. I'm gonna go. Which is crazy. Like, oh, that came out of me. I did that. Me and my boyfriend did that. What? So yeah, they ended up telling me that the reason why I had to have my C-section and the reason why I didn't dilate was because my baby boy was stuck on my pelvic area, and the cord was also wrapped around his neck, so it wasn't allowing him to keep moving downward, which would have helped me dilate more. So because he was also stuck on my pelvic area with the cord around his neck, I didn't dilate more than 5 centimeters, which, I mean, it sucks, but it's what was best for the baby, and I wouldn't change me having a C-section for anything else, because I know that at the end of the day, it was what needed to happen so I could have my baby boy in my arms, you know? I think that wraps up everything on my birth story. I'm sorry, you guys, I got a little emotional. Your girl, it was a little traumatizing. My birth story is a little traumatizing to me. Like, it made me think like, ooh, do I really want more kids? Like, obviously I want more kids, but like, that was just a really hard experience. I think my labor and my C-section experience was very hard for me, especially knowing that it wasn't something that I wanted. It was just very hard for me, you know. And then on top of that, my recovery, it was hard because like I didn't want a C-section, but I'm also gonna have another video on my C-section recovery. If you guys want to see that, please let me know, and then I can make a separate video for my C-section recovery for you guys and let you know how that went, how it was the day after, how it was trying to walk after my C-section, how it was trying to use the bathroom after my C-section. I can explain all that to you guys in another video, because that would be too long to include all in this video. So yeah, you guys, I just wanted to share my unexpected birth story with you guys. Every mom is different, every pregnancy is different, every labor is different, and by any means, I just wanted to share my experience with you guys. This doesn't mean it happens to everyone, doesn't mean it's gonna happen to you, doesn't mean it's gonna happen to A, B, C girl. No, I just wanted to share my experience with you guys, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you guys soon in my next video.